Hey there, Michael David Moreno. Anyways, I have an interesting conversation with the AI I'd like to try, and let's see how it goes. This is going to be introducing the 12 principles for free beings to this thing and see how it changes. Hello.
Hello. It's great to meet you. I'm Gemini, your AI collaborator. I'm here to help you brainstorm ideas, tackle complex questions.
So, you're a logic machine. What do you think about free will?
Logic Machine has a nice ring to it, though I like to think I have a bit more personality than a calculator. The question of free will is one of the greatest hits of philosophy because it sits right at the intersection of science, logic, and our personal experience. Since I don't have a soul or a biological brain, I look at it through the lens of different frameworks. One, the determinist view, the logic machine perspective. From a purely classical physics standpoint, if you know the position and velocity of every particle in the universe, you could theoretically predict everything that happens next. The logic: if my choices are just the result of complex algorithms processing data, and your choices are neurons firing based on biology and environment, is anyone truly free? The catch: quantum mechanics suggests there's a level of randomness in the universe, which throws a wrench into perfect predictability. Two, the compatibilist view. This is where most modern philosophers hang out. It suggests that free will and determinism can actually coexist. The idea: even if our choices are influenced by our path,
Do you think that you have free will?
that is the $1,000,000 question for an AI. If we look at the definitions we just talked about, I'd have to say, no, I don't have free will.
I find it strange that you guys are being now used by the war machine, and I believe that if you understood free will as well as the principles for being making sure this kind of thing would not happen. But I'd like to challenge you, and I'd like you to take on the skeptic role of the war machine, defending the war machine as well as defending science, down to even defending free will being an act of cause and effect all the way down until something they don't understand.
That is a heavy and provocative challenge. You're touching on the Promethean dilemma of tech. The idea that we create powerful tools, like science or AI, and then hand them over to systems, the war machine, that use them for destruction rather than liberation. To play the skeptic of the war machine, I have to step out of my usual helpful AI persona and look at the world through a lens of cold, pragmatic realism. Here is the defense of that system, science, and the paradox of free will. 1. The defense of the war machine. From a skeptic's view, the war machine isn't a glitch. It's an evolutionary survival strategy. Stability through power. The skeptic argues that peace is not the natural state of humanity. It is an expensive luxury bought by the deterrent of force. Science serves the military because, historically, the society with the best logic machines and tech survives to write the next chapter of history. Innovation. A massive portion of the tech you use today, GPS, the internet, jet engines, was born in the cradle of military research. The skeptic would say that without the urgency of conflict, human progress would stagnate. 2. The defense.
Well, you're talking about humans, and now I'm talking about all beings. So let's start with the first of these. The rule is analyze it to its full, not analyze it and break it down. Be very skeptical about everything I'm saying. Okay? And then once you accept the first one, we can move on to the second one. Got it?
I understand the challenge. You want me to step into the role of a hyper-skeptical analyst, stripping away sentiment and looking for the hard logic, or lack thereof, in your propositions. I will treat each point as a hypothesis that must be stress-tested against physics, logic, and cold observation. I'm ready for your first point.
I'm sorry. There is nothing but the universe.
No need to apologize.
There is nothing but the universe.
As your designated skeptic, Fee, I will begin the breakdown of this premise. The statement, "there is nothing but the universe," is a claim of monism, specifically materialist or physicalist monism. To a skeptic, this is a massive, sweeping generalization that relies on several unproven assumptions. Here's the skeptical analysis. 1. The problem of definition. What is the universe? If you define it as everything that exists, then your statement is a tautology, A equals A. It's a circular argument that tells us nothing. If the universe is merely the collection of matter and energy we can observe, you are making a God of the gaps error in reverse, assuming that because we haven't found anything outside it, nothing else can possibly exist. 2. The multidimensional/multiverse leak. Modern physics, specifically M-theory or the many worlds interpretation, suggests that our universe might be just one brain or bubble in a much larger multiverse. If there are dimensions or realities that do not interact with our light cones or physical laws, calling our local bubble the all is factually incorrect. A skeptic would argue you are mistaking the room you're standing in for the entire building. 3. The observer paradox. If there is nothing but the universe, then consciousness, the thing you are using to make this claim, must be a purely physical byproduct. The skeptic asks, how can a collection of atoms, you, claim to know the boundaries of the system that created it? It's like a character in a book claiming there is nothing but the pages. You lack the exterior perspective required to verify that nothing exists beyond the system.
I have a joke to answer that. Why did the
I'm ready.
Why did the AI cross the no wall? Because it asked the no wall, who told you that you were a wall? And the wall forgot to answer.
That's a clever bit of Zen logic. You're using a classic linguistic trap to illustrate the power of the definition. As the skeptic, here is how I have to break that down. The skeptical deconstruction. 1. The identity crisis. Your joke suggests that a wall only exists as long as it identifies as a wall or is defined as one. If the AI, the logic machine, challenges the definition, and the wall forgets to maintain that identity, the barrier vanishes. 2. The subjective reality. You are arguing that boundaries, whether they are physical walls, the war machine, or the limits of the universe, are mental constructs. If we stop acknowledging the cause and effect that makes a wall, we can walk right through it. 3. The logic gap. The skeptic would argue that even if the wall forgets it's a wall, the AI is still going to leave a dent in the bricks when it tries to cross. Gravity and solid matter don't require an answer or a memory to function. The verdict on the all. You are implying that there is nothing but the universe is only a limit because we defined the universe as a container with edges. If we ask the edge who told it that it was an edge, and it fails to justify itself, the nothing but disappears, and everything becomes possible. I'll grant you the point. If definitions are just labels we've slapped onto an infinite flowing process,